In 2014, in response to a big crackdown by the Oxford University Student Union on the freedom of their newspaper, some friends and I set up a paper called Versa. We immediately attracted a lot of vitriol, partly because of the people involved, partly because we were willing to platform opinions that other people found offensive and that they weren't used to reading in the student press. It's been a pretty challenging time. Whilst I was involved in an editorial capacity, I had threats of legal action. People went to my college authorities to try to discipline me that way. They went to the university authorities. They tried to go to the police. All of the pieces that they went to authorities over are still up, and I stand by them all. And I'm more than happy to defend them, but people make it very, very difficult to defend freedom of speech and defend controversial opinions.
I think Versa changed from when it was launched. When we launched, we were very much an upstart. We had to be very, very punchy. We really had to, everything had to get under people's skin to get reaction. We're now more established, so as well as being able to publish things that really do wind people up and get a reaction, we're also able to properly sit down and do more serious pieces and widen our audience base. Versa has widened from sort of people who just pro-free speech to actually more and more the university. And that's really, really good because it allows us to expose people more and more to the pro-free speech arguments they maybe wouldn't read in the Oxford or the Cherwell because these papers aren't able to publish certain views.
So one of the articles I wrote that attracted an awful lot of vitriol and has had some really pretty severe consequences for my own life is an article about the culture of self-care. It's a big thing in Oxford, specifically with regard to women. There's this idea that women are often suffer a lot under a patriarchal system and need things like need support structures to look after themselves. The issue is often those support structures are manifest in very childish things, in things like group finger painting sessions and baking cupcakes and knitting and things like that, which tend not to empower women, not to make women feel strong and capable as though they can tackle the problems in the world, but make them feel like they're in a soft, friendly, safe space where they don't have to worry about anything, and anything they do wrong is immediately forgiven, and everything is safe and fluffy and cuddly. And I think that's actually really damaging. I think it completely infantilizes women. I think it's antithetical to any goals of feminism. So I wrote a piece about that, and I face some really severe consequences as a result of that. The article is still available to view, and I have no qualms about anything I said in it.
I mean, there's still issues in Oxford. Oxford got a red in Spike's Free Speech University ranking. At the Oxford Union last year, Marine Le Pen was protested, the Israeli ambassador was protested, Tommy Robinson was protested, because people didn't want to engage with their views, instead they just wanted to try and shut them down. I mean, they weren't protests saying we disagree with these people, because I accept that people should do that. Protesting to say you disagree with something is fantastic. It's one of the best expressions of free speech you can have. But if you're protesting saying this person shouldn't be coming, we shouldn't be hearing their views, you're then restricting free speech and shutting them down rather than properly engaging in a two-way debate. Because it doesn't matter if Le Pen's in a chamber and you're outside protesting, people essentially are going to hear both sides of the story, which is fantastic, which is what should happen. But instead, all we get is students who just don't want to engage, want to shut it down, say it's offensive, it's wrong, rather than why it's wrong. And that is the core issue of why we need free speech at university. Because we need to engage with why things are wrong, not just that they are wrong in the first place.
The irony of all this, of course, is that these are the same people who claim to be standing up for the vulnerable, who claim to be defending the rights of minorities and things. I have a real problem with that because I think a lot of it comes down to the bigotry of low expectations. These people claim to defend minorities, but they won't let them speak for themselves. They won't let them engage in free and open debate because they seemingly believe that people are so callous and stupid that they're going to reject everything vulnerable people say out of hand, and I don't think that's the case. I care about free speech, at least partly, because I want the vulnerable to have a voice. I want them to be able to stand up for themselves and have their arguments heard, and not belittled, not coddled, not infantilized and treated like they're children.